In this example, we're going to look at density, but also have a little refresher on solving equations, so a little bit of algebra, and then also calculating the correct number of significant figures so we can round our answer. So this question says a piece of silver metal has a mass of 2.365 grams. If the density of silver is 10.5 grams per cubic centimeter, what is the volume of the silver? So what is the volume is what we're looking for. And then we know the mass. We're told the mass is 2.365, and we're told the density. So I always like to write out what do we know and what are we looking for. Our mass is 2.365 grams. Our density is 10.5 grams per cubic centimeter. That's the same thing as grams per milliliter. A cubic centimeter and a milliliter are the same thing. People in the health sciences might know that. And then volume is what we're looking for. So then we need to think about what equation relates mass, density, and volume. And that is density equals mass divided by volume. Some people might want to just put the numbers in right here and plug and chug and solve the answer. And if you can do that, that's great. I'm going to show you how do I rearrange this equation to solve for volume. So just a little refresher on algebra. So volume is what we're looking for here. So I need to rearrange this equation and solve for volume. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get volume off the bottom of my fraction. And so I can do this by multiplying each side of the equation by v. So that gets it off the bottom of this side of the fraction, or off the bottom of that side of the equation, and puts it on the top of the other side. So now I have volume times density equals mass, but mass is not what I was looking for. I was looking for volume, right? And so my next step is I need to get volume by itself. So to do that, I can divide this side by density to get rid of it. That means I also need to divide this side by density. So if I do that, then I'm left with the equation volume equals mass divided by density. And so that's how I can solve for volume. So if I plug in my numbers, I can put in my mass was 2.365 grams, and my density was 10.5 grams per cubic centimeter. And I want to double check my units and make sure that I'm doing this the right way. So if I look, grams and grams cancel out, and then my units, cubic centimeters, I would effectively have 1 over cubic centimeters. And if I have 1 over something, that leaves me with the something. So that's cubic centimeters. So I know my answer is going to be in cubic centimeters, which is good. So now I want to do my division. 2.365 divided by 10.5 is 0.225238. Put some extra digits in there. And now I need to remember to round. So my initial number, I need to look at my mass, had 4 sig figs, and my density has 3 sig figs. So I need to round my final answer to 3 significant figures based on density, assuming that those are both measured quantities. And so my answer, remember that 0 point whatever, that 0 is not a significant figure. And so I need to look and round this to 3 significant figures here. And so I want to take the 5, which is my very last digit, look to the right, and that's a 2. So that means that I'm going to round down. So that means my final answer should be 0.225 cubic centimeters for the volume. And that is rounded to 3 significant figures.